Please.
Don't point the camera first.
Please tell.
Questionable.
And then I get to grind it down.
Just another crush show.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Today we are gonna go over the rest of the bash bar construction because last video you guys saw that it was tacked together, but the whole welding process still needed to happen. Welding. Shooter Andy, thank you for always being an amazing shooter, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, basically, because we're not good welders yet, this is just, it's a messy mess because first of all, we fabricated something we didn't know how to fabricate. It was very difficult. Then we're welding together our poor fabrication job because we're not good fabricators yet and we're not good welders yet. So the welding job is a little messy, you can see. Don't show too much. This is like second day of just welding me in the backyard. I got all the globs on the back set. I'll flip it over tomorrow to start doing all the fronts. Then I'm gonna take the grinder, grind everything down so it's just not so fat and I can find any places I made any mistakes. Probably weld any patches a second time, then grind all that down, then sand it, prime it, and get it ready for paint. So because we're not great fabricators and because we're not great welders yet, these processes take a little bit more time and they don't look as pretty, but we'll get there. Thank you so much for watching. Boom. Like, I don't think I realized how much of a ordeal this was gonna be.
2 weeks later.
So I don't even know where we're at with this, but I just wanted to give you guys an update because we are, I feel like we're 2 weeks into the welding process here for this madness. Or I'm gonna put these
right
on
here.
and then
Right here. That's it. That's
yeah,
it.
that one.
Several days later.
Oh, good. All right, we're out here today. It's been a rough day. Sam might have to rewire. Okay. Okay. I feel like I've been welding this thing for forever. It's also not going super well, just because. Day after day after day. Again, it felt like it took forever, but after a while we got everything welded together. And then once everything was welded together, the next step was grinding all those super ugly welds down. So we had to take the grinder out for what felt like weeks and grind all of our fat welds down. We used wire brushes, we used grinding plates, we used flap discs. We even went to Harbor Freight and bought a Dremel tool and like used all the little bits on the Dremel tool to try to get through some creases that were hard to grind down with the grinder because we couldn't fit it in there. We got bad cuts and globby welds.
Yeah, that's okay.
Later.
I don't even know how many days this has been. I went to D&S Supply House and those guys were awesome and they got us this flux core wire, which is significantly better than our Harbor Freight wire. And we're gonna put all the caps on the end of the bash bar, so we're gonna cut it out of the sheet metal and then tack them onto all the edges. Before we do that though, one of the edges of this pipe is a little bit longer than the other, so we gotta cut that down a little bit. All right, we're ready for welding. Apparently good wire comes vacuum sealed. Oh, it's right here. There it is.
And then we're gonna.
Better than I thought. I got the sheet of metal out and I set up a wire brush on the grinder. So I'm gonna clean up the sheet metal before I cut my caps so that I don't have to clean up these tiny little caps like with my bare hands. All right, so we got the 1.5 inch bit. We're gonna drill the first one and test it to see if the cap will cover the end of the bash bar.
It'll tack in, yeah. 100%. I mean, it's gonna cut. How many more out?
Four more.
5 pucks done. Thank you.
Welding. All right, so now that I have welded all the caps on, Sam is going to help me find any spots that need a touch-up weld, and then I'll do that, and then I'll grind it down, and she'll be ready for paint.
And then I get to grind it down.
Just another crush
Are
show.
you gonna... Let's get it, boys and girls. And that is how you weld the bash bar. So once we had all 5 end caps globbed together, welded on, and all of the spots Sam called out, tacked back up and filled back in, it was basically round 2 for grinding. Finished up all the weld spots over the weekend, and so now I'm just gonna spend the afternoon grinding it down. Let's get it. Almost there.
The very next evening.
Day 4 million. Here we go. So finished grinding all the big globs from the welds. The kids are having a party next door. And we switched over to the Dremel tool, just trying to get in a few little edges before we sand it and prime it. Hell yeah, we're trying to do that before it gets too dark. Moon's already out, sun's already out, gone. So we're in grind mode, but we got a light or two. We'll see what we can do. As I was finishing my grinding, I really wanted to get a coat of primer on. So Sam came over late one night and we took wire brushes and sandpaper and cleaned up the entire bash bar. Once we had shot 1,000 bits of wire brush back at ourselves and used as much sandpaper as we could, the bash bar was clean of surface rust that had gathered over time. Then we wiped it down with alcohol, hung it up, and then I laid the first coat of primer. Hello. It's the morning after we did midnight painting. I got a lot more primer. I got Blossom white paint from Home Depot, 2X quality paint. We're gonna be putting on primer. And once we put on a coat of primer, we're gonna get parts for the car, start putting the car back together, let the paint dry, another coat of primer, more parts, another coat of primer, more parts, then we do paint, then we do gloss, and that's it. Hopefully by the end of the day, I'll have put all the parts in, painted the bash bar, put the coolant in, put the oil in, start the car. All right, we can do that. Okay, so the coat's dry in 30 minutes. So 30-minute timer, then I'll put another coat on. I'm gonna do one more coat of primer and then sand it and then start painting it and then clear. So for the next 30 minutes, I'm gonna be getting MIATA parts out and figuring out where the hell they all go back. All right, so right now we got all the parts we took out of the MIATA back out. Right now we're doing the secondary rail for the radiator on this side because the other one's still in the car. And then we'll put the radiator in. Then we'll put the AC components in, the condenser and whatnot, air intake, do a coolant flush and put new oil in and then hopefully start her up today. Look at how far back we are. Because these welds are so globby, I really wanted to get a lot of filler primer and like thicken up the bar with some heavy coats of primer. But I opened up a can of primer and it was gonna be my last coat. It was a new type of paint that I hadn't used before. It laid the ugliest lines of primer I've ever seen in my entire life. That was the worst primer I've ever used in my whole life. So we'll let it dry for 2 hours instead of 1 because I really want it to dry and it's on really patchy and it's nasty. And then I'll sand it, then we'll paint it. All right, so what we're doing right now is we're MacGyvering the bottom of one of these rails because these are the rails that hold the radiator. And we didn't have one of the bolts. See right here, Andy? This pin on that hook that runs right through this rail.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to create because we don't have that. And then the radiator sits right there. So look at this. That's what it looks like with the duct tape on it.
It's on autofocus too.
Okay, I'm resting on my pin thing.
I'm resting on my pin thing. Yo, is it that easy?
No.
Just put a bolt in?
It's not.
Okay.
We're not matched up
You're
on this.
negative,
We're not matched up. We're not matched up on the side.
You
Negative
just
Nancy.
bend it.
Huh?
You just bend it. All right, so we got the AC condenser back in, we got the radiator back in, we got the air intake back in, we put all the hoses back together. I got an oil filter, oil, and coolant by Peak made for Asian vehicles. Questionable. Other than that, we're just gonna wet sand that painter. That's it.
That's some green liquid.
This looks like those jugs we would drink as kids.
Jugs.
Remember those
Oh,
jugs?
yeah.
The little, they looked like little
They were
barrels.
The door,
Oh.
specifically, or the.
Oh, it's backed up. Nice. Okay, here she goes. Glug. That's it.
Gorgeous.
Just
Sorry,
start
you
it.
ready to start it?
Uh-oh.
Guys, I'm very
Your
nervous.
car has been sitting.
It's gonna run well. Everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be awesome.
Facts.
Okay. Out of gear. AC's off.
Pull the handbrake too.
Wow, what a throwback this is.
Handbrake's
I'm gonna
off.
film this car in a minute.
Ready?
Start it.
All right, I'm gonna say a prayer.
Fire dead.
It's completely dead. You okay? Oh. Please,
Don't point the camera first.
please tell me you got that. Everybody good? Everybody ready?
3.0.
Okay, here we go. Third time's the charm. Ready? No leaks, right?
Nothing yet.
That's a monster, baby! It's been a long day, but the MIATA drove, got the oil change, got the coolant, got the MIATA all put back together. Just sanded down the last coat of primer, wiped it down with some alcohol, and so now we're gonna put the first coat of paint on. Let's go! Oh, I hate these nozzles. It all actually happened at the end of the day. We had all the paint on and we had the car back together. 48 hours later after the paint cured, I put on clear coat, just like 2 layers of clear coat, left that for 48 more hours to cure. And then I went on a work trip. When I got back from a work trip, the paint, the clear coat, everything had cured. It was like a Saturday morning. Sam and Andy came here and oh, damn. Yes. Okay, enough of that. Honestly though, look at her, dude. She's shining like a bird.
That's what I had.
Yeah. Okay, you got it?
Yeah. It's kind of press on fit, so.
Yeah, it is press on.
How's your side? You're at my side. So
You gotta press.
I'm ready. I'm just waiting for you.
Press it.
Oh, wait. Oh.
Bro.
Dude.
I thought about that. Well,
So-
me. Sam, this is not a laughing time.
So what do you want to do?
Bend the AC condenser down.
That could break there. Also, I'm not sure if heating up the pipe, if we could kink the pipe in the process. If we kink the pipe, it's dead. We are YouTube mechanics.
Start praying. Wow. Get more of that joint there. Come over from this side. Wow.
What's snapped there?
Nothing
What's snapped?
snapped.
It just moved.
Just moved a lot, but I didn't see anything snap.
I'm not gonna heat it up. Are you close to that second bowl hole now? Oh, you're really close.
This is what snapped. This thing just bent down.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. We should take that off right now. Actually,
Sure.
that's probably holding us back a lot. Actually.
Yeah, that whole thing just wiggled. My heart like shattered in half when that happened.
There they are. Okay, that's set on. You look, cause I can't see it. Oh,
Bro, we're
good.
over
Bro,
top of it. Let's
We're
go.
Gucci, dude.
Push your on.
Okay.
Let's step
Hang
back.
on for a second.
Whoa.
Honestly,
This
it's pretty
looks
dope. It's pretty
crazy.
dope looking.
This looks crazy.
Hey, look at that.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought?
Not me.
Wow, dude.
It's really funky. Okay, cool.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god. We are literally crackheads, guys. Hey, you watched it. You're now a part of this with us. Like and subscribe so you don't miss any parts of this misadventure.
Yeah.
And we're out here doing this dumb shit. And I'm not mad about it. That's a good explanation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please leave that in the video.
Yeah,
That's how it ends.